Kaden Shedrick is our special guest on this edition of Game Plan. Getting to know him a little bit more. He's from Holly Springs, North Carolina. We saw him early in his run here at the University of Texas coming up with a career-high 27 points in a game against Louisville. That game was an absolute battle. He's got 146 career blocks, and before he arrived at the University of Texas, he was part of an amazing program with Tony Bennett at Virginia as well. But we're glad to have him here in Austin, Texas. Kaden, what has it been like? First, just like the lifestyle change, going from Charlottesville to Austin.
Yeah, Charlottesville, when people think about Charlottesville, it's really a college town. So moving from a college town to a big city like Austin, it's definitely been a change, but it was one I was excited for when I came here. And, I've really enjoyed it, and I've loved my time here.
What's your favorite part just about the lifestyle in this area?
Yeah, there's always something to do. If you're bored, that's probably on you. So I like to go out with some of my teammates, some of my friends I've made, try and find stuff to do. I love the food here. The food's amazing. So, my friends and I, we like to go out once a week and, have a dinner together.
So let's get into the process of leaving Virginia, ending up at the University of Texas. Just with the way that system is run, there's not a lot of opportunities to highlight what a guy can do offensively. So what was that challenge like for you to get out there that I can be a difference maker offensively? I've got some game.
Yeah, that was definitely a factor in my decision of leaving Virginia. I did want the opportunity to play in like a different style of play, faster paced, have the ball in my hands a little more. And, coming here, it did take some adjusting, knowing that, when I have the ball, I should go score. I shouldn't just go look to pass every time. And, I've taken that challenge and, I've tried to grow throughout the year. And, I still have a lot of growth to do, but I've enjoyed the development process of becoming that player that I want to be.
What part of your offensive game do you take the most pride in?
Right now, I'd say probably my post play, facing up to the basket, that sort of thing, backing down smaller guys. I think I've shown some serious growth in that this season, and, I want to grow into that, keep growing in that area coming up next season, and hopefully being able to continue to space the floor a little bit as well.
Well, we've talked about your offseason, or lack thereof, with RT a lot, and he just mentioned that you're coming off some shoulder issues. What was that process like? Because it was both shoulders, is that right?
Yes, correct. I tore them both sometime last season at Virginia, and I kind of got them checked out after the year. I finished the year with them, but the doctor recommended I repair both of them. So it was about a 6-7 month process combined, and it was a lot of work. Physical therapy every day, lots of treatment every day. In the training room, like 4 hours a day. So it was a lot of work. It took a lot of perseverance, and it was definitely one of the biggest struggles I've ever had to go through in my life, and it paid off in the end.
So you're talking 6 to 7 months. You finish up last season. Did you have any idea it was that bad and you were going to be out that long?
It didn't feel great, so I figured it was probably something pretty bad, but it took us a while actually to get around to the surgery part, because we were like, should we do it, should we not? Because you can continue to play without it, but it was kind of, interfering with my day-to-day life, and I was like, I want to have healthy shoulders again.
Yeah.
Sleeping and stuff, even that was painful, so I was aware of how long the process would end up taking once I got it done, but it felt longer in the end. So.
Well, you mentioned the perseverance. Take me through that. New guy on campus trying to learn, the team, learning your teammates and the system and all that, and there's not much you can do. What did you try to do to get acclimated with this system and with your teammates when there wasn't much you could do? Yeah,
it was definitely a difficult situation. The guys would just see me on the sidelines for months. At the beginning I was in a sling, and then, by the end of it, I'm just doing exercises on the sideline, just watching them practice. So it's hard for them to know who I am as a player, and then it's hard for me to learn how to play with them. So, I kind of just, when I ended up coming back, I kind of just, eased my way back into it. I didn't try to force my way anywhere. I was going to be who they needed me to be and try and flow into the offense, flow into the defense, and just do what I know I'm capable of. So, that's kind of how I did it.
But you got that taste, man. When you got back, you had that game against Louisville, and that was one of the most courageous performances that I've seen in a long time because it seemed like nonstop, man. You were hitting the floor with some sort of contact, and you kept playing through it. What was that game like for you?
Yeah, you know, coming into that game, I wasn't even sure if I was going to play. I had a little flare-up with my shoulder, I think like the day before or 2 days before or something like that. But, you know, I woke up on game day, you know, feeling good. I wanted to get it done. And, yeah, I mean, I'm glad I played, obviously. It was a big win for us. And, you know, took a lot of hard hits, like you said. But, you know, it's all about getting back up. You know, the pain's for another day, so.
Well, I said to the folks before coming on this segment that we would talk a little bit baseball because that's in your DNA as well, right? Like you started playing baseball really before basketball. Describe to me your love for baseball and where that started. Yeah,
I mean, baseball was my first sport up until around my sophomore year of high school. You know, I loved baseball. Baseball was always ahead of basketball, but you know, from a young age, my parents always, you know, I would play catch with my dad. You know, my dad would take me to hitting lessons and all that, and you know, I just loved it, going to tournaments every weekend and competing. And you know, I ended up getting too tall. You know, I went from 6'2" to 6'8" from freshman to sophomore year, and that's kind of where I was like, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking like half a foot, but also coordination as well, like hitting. There's a lot that happens in that, you know, very short amount of time. What was that like for you, like getting coordinated when you grew that much?
Yeah, it was difficult. You know, sometimes I still look a little uncoordinated, but you know, I'm still, you know, I like to think that I'm pretty much growing into my body, but I know I still have some work to do there in terms of like balance and all that. But you know, in terms of baseball, man, the strike zone got so big, and you know, my arms were so long. I'm trying to control where I'm throwing it and all that. It just got difficult for me, and I was offered the opportunity to come play basketball. They said I had to drop baseball, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it.
So were you even playing basketball on your high school team before dropping baseball?
I was.
Okay.
I was playing basketball. It was really just like a side thing. My dad was always big on being a multi-sport athlete.
Awesome.
You know, he thought that a lot of the skills I would learn in basketball could apply to baseball, so it ended up being the other way around. So, yeah.
Got some juice with the bat still? Like if we set you up and you had some swings, we take you out to the dish and we do, you know, a few rounds of BP, how many are you taking out?
I can get a few out of there. I hit at Virginia last season, and I got 3 out of Virginia's ballpark.
Okay.
So I can get some out of there for sure.
So legit, man, you still got the juice.
I still got it. It might not be as pretty as it was, but I got the strength still. I got decent mechanics, so I can get some out of there. I would love the opportunity to do that sometime.
Hey, we're going to make that happen, man. We'll call up David Pierce after this and get you out there, and we'll put it on the line. It's a big park now. The dish is a big park, man.
I saw
it's a pitcher's park.
It's beautiful, though. I can't wait to go out there for some games this season and support the guys.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for stopping by. Congratulations on all the success that you're having. We know there's so much more ahead of you in the future.
Thank you.
That's Kaden Shedrick right here